Here is my everyday blowout. I think this is the easiest blowout technique to do for beginners, but it's also the blow dry technique that I do on myself on a regular basis because I need to look put together at work every day and I want less heat damage on my hair, and I need something that's fast and efficient but looks really good. This technique is not specifically for volume, but it's going to be fast and efficient, and it's going to give you movement and style, but with a smooth finish, and it's gonna look really good. I'm gonna go over the products that I've been using lately on my hair to achieve this look. So the first thing I've been using is before I shampoo, I've been using the Epre, I don't know exactly how to say it. This is like a bonding repair treatment. Today was my 4th time using it, and I can immediately feel the difference. It's a little vial that you put in here, you fill it up with water, shake it up, and then spritz it in your dry hair before you go and wash and condition like usual. My hair has just felt healthier, smoother, less frizzy, and that was the 4th time using it, but I literally felt like after the 1st time I could tell a difference. I've been shampooing with Aveda's Scalp Benefits shampoo and conditioner, and that's mostly because I want to focus on my scalp health. If my scalp is healthy, then my hair is gonna be healthy, my hair is gonna grow well. The next thing I've been using is Ergo Hair Alchemy Fortifying Treatment Serum. This has a 450-degree heat protectant. I think it's made to like strengthen your hair, and it's got a killer heat protectant. So I've been using that, and I've been switching back and forth between this and then Aveda Botanical Repair Bond Building Cream. This also is bond repair, so it's adding new hydrogen bonds to the hair, and it just weighs my hair down kind of perfectly. When I've styled my hair, I feel like there's just like this smoothing heaviness to it. I don't know. I have really frizzy hair, so it weighs it down just enough that there's a little bit less frizz. So that's what I'm gonna prep my hair with today, because I'm gonna use the Ergo on my dry hair, which is nice because you can use that one on wet or dry hair. I'm gonna work the bond building cream through my ends, kind of go in through sections of it and comb it through, then squeeze it in those ends. This also has a heat protectant, so that is what's most important, is that we're protecting it, especially when we're blow drying it on a regular basis. And then I'm gonna take whatever's left over, and that's where I'm gonna put it up at the top or in through my little baby hairs, so that those still have some protection and some smoothing elements, but they're not gonna be weighed down by the product itself. Now let's dry. I like to always, before going in with a round brush, get my hair 80 to 90% dry, because first of all, it's way more efficient. Getting the excess water out of your hair before trying to go in and yank through it with the brush while getting it dry, which is pulling on it and pushing it all together, you're just not able to open up the hair as much to get the water out. So just that reason in itself, I think, is enough. But also, it's going to be less damaging on your hair. So your hair, when it's wet, it stretches, and so if you're putting a brush in there and yanking on it, and especially a round brush, and wrapping through it, you're probably going to end up having more damage. Also, it's not going to make your style look any better. I always pre-dry with the nozzle off. That way there's better airflow moving through my hair, and it's not gonna take you as long. Again, everything I do is pretty much for efficiency. Now I always start the pre-dry at my hairline. You can see that I start to get a little bit of wave up in my hairline, but my hairline smooths out pretty easily. This is a very basic way of smoothing out the hairline and just getting it clean. So basically what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna show you before I turn the blow dryer on, is I like to comb my hairline out, and you can see like it gets pretty smooth pretty easily. And I'm gonna start at the bottom on the side, and first of all, just comb down while directing the air down, but then I'm gonna go in and comb down, but then comb back up and pull on it. So we're basically just gonna point the air down while using the brush to pull on it. Pull all that down, and then once I've started with this side, I'm actually gonna drag all of this stuff on the other side that way as well, because this is going to get rid of any of that kind of little wave and movement in my hairline by getting those hairs to stand up in like a neutral place instead of one direction or another, which makes your hairline look a bit more wavy. Blow this forward a little bit too, and that's also gonna help neutralize your hairline a little bit. So you're just gonna go back and forth. I kind of start going deeper and deeper into my hairline once those little baby hairs are dry, which happens very quickly for me. And then we move throughout the rest of the hair. From here, I like to go in with my hands to just feel how damp it still is. And if you'll notice, I'm focusing all of the air up at the roots. So I'm getting my roots dry first. It's going to be more efficient because you're not going to be going through the ends, tangling everything up, and then feeling like you're getting your ends dry, but then all of the water that's sitting up at your roots keeps seeping down through the rest of your hair. And number one, you're getting no volume on top because all of that hair is laying flat while you're fluffing up your ends. But you're also going to take twice as long to get the water out because your ends just keep getting wet. And again, this is like the most simple way for me to do it on my hair type. And there are other techniques that you can do if you have a bit curlier of hair or a bit straighter of hair and need more volume. So at this point, I've been going through the roots and my hair is almost 90% dry, I'd say. And you can see how I've got a little bit of volume here, just enough. It's not an insane amount, but it's enough that my hair is not laying flat on my head. And I never focused on the ends except for when I was showing you guys what not to do. And my ends have gotten super dry. So this is the Denman brush. I believe this is the D4. It has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 rows. So now you'll be able to feel how much water you have left in your hair. If there's still a bit too much where you feel like it's not gonna dry that quick, go through and just do a little bit more. If not, this is where we section. So I like to start at the top and just do a section right over the center of my hairline. I like to lift my hair up and then put my finger in and then just twist it and then take an alligator clip and clip that up. Again, I'm sectioning for my hair specifically, so you might need more sections, but then I just do a center section. Same thing, take that whole piece and clip it up. And then I'm gonna start at the bottom. I'm gonna split the hair in half so I can see everything that I'm working with and what I'm gonna be done with at the end. I like to use different sizes of round brushes depending on what I want my end result to be. The larger the round brush, the smoother it's gonna be with less of a bend. The smaller the round brush, the more like curl or bend there's gonna be with maybe a little bit less of just that straight smooth finish. These are Ergo round brushes, and they're some of my favorite round brushes. You can find everything that I'm talking about linked below if you want them. These get your hair so shiny, and they're 20% longer than a normal round brush, which is like maybe that big. So you can fit a lot of hair on them, which is great. I'm gonna go with a little bit of the bigger round brush. Sometimes I'll go even bigger than this, but we want a little bit more bend today. First of all, I like to always turn my head to the side so I can see what I'm doing in the mirror and grab all of that hair and take the round brush and place it right up at the top. My hair is already almost completely dry, which is great because then when I'm going in with the blow dryer, I'm not trying to get my root dry up here because we focused all of the air. My roots are like 100% dry. So all I'm having to focus on is smoothing and getting some movement to the ends. Now I'm gonna add the concentrator on my blow dryer. This is the Dyson Supersonic hair dryer. I'm obsessed with it. It dries your hair so fast, it gets it so shiny. It helps prevent static because of the negative charged ions or whatever, and I pretty much can't live without it. It also lasts me forever. I've had this one since 2020, I think, and I used it in the salon for a little bit before I brought it home and use it at home now. So we're starting right up at the roots. I'm going to turn the blow dryer on. I honestly use high heat high air because I'm gonna try to move through this really fast. And I'm gonna do the exact same technique throughout almost every section until this top part. The concentrator is important for this step because we want the air to be coming out very specifically in a fine amount of space so that we can blow all of these frizzy little baby hairs, if you can see them, down underneath my hair to create a really silky smooth finish on top. So I'm getting right up at the top, turning the blow dry on, pointing the air down. I'm not spinning the round brush, if you'll notice. I'm keeping it completely still until the very end. That's when I'll spin. Not putting the air super close to the round brush. It doesn't need to be super close. The closer you get, the more likely you are to burn your hair. And then I'm gonna turn it off and roll a little bit longer and then let it go. Then we'll go to the other side, do the exact same thing. Spin a little and come off. So just by focusing on the ends, I get that nice little bit of curl because that size of the round brush too, it's a bit curlier than normal. And so going through the entire head of hair like this, it's going to lay on top of itself and give you some bounce and some movement. So we're gonna move up to the next section, taking this out. And then I like to, again, split this whole thing in half and then just bring it to the front so I can see what I'm working with. And then we're gonna start on this side this time. And I'm gonna split this in half so that it's not massive sections. People with more hair are gonna have to do even smaller sections than this. And we're gonna do the exact same thing that we did last time. Putting the round brush all the way up at the root. I turn it a little bit up at the root to get it stuck a little bit in there so that it's not falling off of the round brush as soon as I put the air on it. Starting the air up at the top, I move it a little bit so that I'm not sitting in one spot, and just to make sure that all of those little hairs have been pushed down. So also notice I'm not going straight down with it. I'm going a little bit towards the ends of the hair, I guess, to smooth all of those down towards the bottom. Twist on the ends. I'm kind of pointing the air now down towards the round of the round brush, I guess. And then coming off. And I'm gonna grab this section right away and move forward. Get it in there, and twisting. Might do it again just to be a little more organized. I'm almost facing this towards the camera so I can see what I'm doing a little more. Smoothing that out so you can see how nice and shiny that's gotten. I'm gonna go back in just because I feel like now that I've done that, I need to come down so I get a better grip on it. Pointing down. Spinning on the ends. And letting go. This makes me so warm and sweaty. I usually do my makeup after this so that I can get sweaty and then not be messing with my makeup. Okay, so now we're going into the top. And this section, I'm actually gonna work from the back to the front in horizontal sections this way. So I'm gonna take this really little bitty back section here and then take the clip again and clip this out of the way so that I'm not grabbing some of this hair when I'm trying to do this section. I'm feeling like this is a little wet, so I might just go in and focus on the roots a little bit. And go the other way too. Now, if it's still a little damp, I like to lay the hair over the round brush this way. Just get a little bit of the water out while smoothing the whole piece of hair, dragging it forward. Then, I'm gonna lay it on the back side of it, flip the hair this way, which gives you a nice firm grip on it. Put the hair here, and then pull forward. Again, We're gonna twirl on the ends. And pull it back. Same deal. I'm gonna just hit the front quick, and then I'm gonna pull forward. And do it again. It's nice pulling forward because you can actually see what you're doing and you're not having to try to get your arm all the way up here and then not be able to hang on to the hair. It's not really gonna do much more for you anyway. Spin on the ends, push it back. Last section, going forward first. Just to smooth it, and then I'm gonna do going backwards, pulling forward, spinning. I like to kind of wrap this shorter piece up in a face frame, heat it up a little bit, and then pull out. Okay, so now you can brush your hands through it, see how it looks. So you can see, not only does that give you beautiful volume on both sides of your center part, it allows you to be able to switch your part anywhere you want because of that hairline blow dry, and you didn't have to try hard to get volume, but you have a little bit of volume, and you've got plenty of movement just from twirling in through those ends, which I just think is amazing. And it was so fast, a little bit longer than what it takes me on a regular basis because I was explaining a lot. But I highly recommend doing this before you put your makeup on, just in case you sweat, because it's kind of like a cardio workout because you're going so fast, and that way you can wipe your sweat off before you do your face. Now to finish this look, usually I will just go with a hairspray or like a hair serum, depending on if it's humid outside or not. So this is when, sometimes I'll use the Ergo serum before and after I style because this goes on dry hair really well. I'll show you with a little bit of it because it is probably humid out today, what that looks like when you pull that through your hair. It just adds some nice shine and like weighs it down enough where it's like, makes it a bit silkier, if that makes sense. But it's not heavy. Like my hair really can't handle a lot. So the fact that this is a serum I can put on my dry hair that actually weighs it down enough where it's not as frizzy just makes me really happy. And then I'll go in with Aveda's Air Control, which is a super lightweight hairspray. It's almost like a texture spray because you can lift your hair and spray and it kind of stays and builds with it, but it's not ever, like no matter how hard you try, I swear, gonna give you like that stiff helmet look. So if you're wanting that, then this is not the one for you. You need a bit of a heavier one, but I like lightweight, movable, touchable, smells yummy, and easy and quick. Thank you guys so much for watching. I really appreciate you. Subscribe and comment if you want to.